USA and China today are two of the most powerful countries in both military and in economy. The United States currently is a global superpower, whereas China is considered as an emerging superpower. China is the most populous country in the world with around 1.44 billion people, whereas the US is the third most populous country with about 331 million people. Today in this video, we are going to compare the military and economy aspects of the two countries in details. Let's get started. Economy size comparison. First, let's compare the GDP nominal. The United States is the largest economy in nominal GDP with around 21 trillion US dollars, followed by China with around 14 trillion US dollars. But in terms of GDP purchasing power parity or PPP, China is the largest in the world with 27 trillion international dollars. Next is the United States with around 21 trillion international dollars. Note here in GDP purchasing power parity, value is expressed in international dollar. An international dollar has the same purchasing power as the US dollar has in the United States. Nuclear weapon comparison. Both the US and China are countries that have nuclear weapons. Although the exact numbers are unknown, the United States is estimated to have around 6,000 nuclear warheads, whereas China is estimated to have around between 250 to 300 nuclear warheads. Land size comparison. China total land area 3.7 million square miles. United States total land area 3.8 million square miles. Manpower comparison. The People's Liberation Army of China at present has around 2 million active military personnel, whereas the United States Armed Forces at present has around 1.4 million active military personnel. Now, coming to the reserve military personnel, the Chinese Armed Forces has around 500,000, whereas the United States Armed Forces has around 845,000 reserve military personnel. Defense budget comparison. China spends around anywhere between 180 to 210 billion US dollars on its military and is the second largest, whereas the US spends around 748 billion US dollars and is the largest defense budget in the world. Land power comparison. The People's Liberation Army at present has around 7,000 main battle tanks, as compared to the United States' 8,000 plus tanks. Over 3,500 infantry fighting vehicles as compared to United States' 6,700 plus. 4,000 plus armored personnel carrier as compared to United States' 13,000 plus. In addition to this, the Chinese ground forces has 1,700 plus self-propelled artillery, as compared to the United States' 1,400 plus. Over 1,770 multi-launched rocket systems as compared to the United States' 990 plus multi-launched rocket system. Air power. Both the US and China maintains a large number of aircraft for its Air Force, Army, and Navy. Currently, the Chinese Armed Forces has around 4,000 to 4,500 total aircraft, of which around 1,670 plus are fighter jets and over 1,000 are helicopters. Now, coming to the United States, the US Armed Forces has around 14,000 total aircraft, of which around 2,850 plus are fighter jets and nearly 5,700 are helicopters. Now, coming to the main fighter jets. Stealth fighter J-20, Su-30 MKK, Su-27, Su-35, J-10 and J-15 are some of the main fighter jets of the People's Liberation Army of China. Whereas stealth fighters F-22 Raptor and F-35, F-16, F-15 and F-18 are the main fighter jets of the US Armed Forces. Naval power. Both China and the United States has a large number of naval ships as both the countries have large coastal areas. At present, the Chinese Navy has around 700 total ships, of which around 230 are auxiliary or support ships, whereas the U.S. Navy has around 500 total naval ships including auxiliaries. Now, let's see what the Chinese and the U.S. Navies have got in its inventory. Aircraft carriers. China currently has 2 aircraft carriers, whereas the U.S. Navy has 11 nuclear-powered supercarriers and 9 helicopter carriers or amphibious assault ships in its inventory. Cruisers. Currently, the Chinese Navy doesn't have any cruiser ships, whereas the U.S. Navy has 22 cruisers in its inventory. Destroyers. The Chinese Navy currently has 36 destroyers as compared to United States' 69 destroyers. Submarines. China currently has around 75 submarines, of which around 20 plus are nuclear powered, whereas the US currently has 70 plus submarines, all of which are nuclear powered. In addition to this, the Chinese Navy has 52 frigates, 50 corvettes, and many other landing ships, missile boats, and auxiliary ships. And the U.S. Navy has 19 corvettes or littoral combat ships, 0 frigates, and many other landing ships, patrol boats, and auxiliary ships in its inventory. Thanks for watching.